survive unless we get a little crazy.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
The beat keeps pumping in my head. Makes me so mad.
No, we're never gonna survive unless we get a little crazy.
So as you'll see when I show the building and just pause it as I go through it in the pistol, I had the wrong pistol equipped this whole time. It's because I used my tank build's pistol because they both use the same pistol but a different talent. I forgot to have the right one, which I had Reformation, which wasn't really helping at all in this build. It's in sync is what I meant to have, which gives you skill damage just by hitting things, and then when your skills are also hitting things, it doubles it up to increase 30% skill damage by just hitting things with your gun, which also gives more healing through this build too for both me and my teammates. So this is like a really good, obviously once I max it out, get max skill haste is the intention. Skill damage I add more as a bonus, but skill haste is a priority if my skills are ever silenced. So it only takes a few seconds every time to bring my skills back. And I use this pistol to get 2 skill tiers so I can add 2 armor cores on this build. I like having double up on armor cores that way. But as you see, I still switch to that LMG I have. Now, it takes me down to skill tier 5, it's true. However, that's not a huge deal, especially because your skill damage... I've noticed skill damage, even at max, it's not terrible. I'm not saying it's bad on heroic difficulty. But it's also, like, nothing amazing. Like, the straight-up, the most maxed-out gun damage builds I've seen, of course, you know, laugh at the damage that you do with your skills. It's kind of like unloading with an LMG on my tank build. So... you know, not terrible, but not bad, not awesome either. It's just kind of average damage, I always felt like, through skills. But that may also be because I'm using the Refractor set to be a healer through it too, rather than maybe another one that would increase the skill damage, stacking even more. However, I actually I like Refractor with it because I feel like for such long duration skills like those that are just meant to stay on the field and also take hits too, because they draw aggro, that's the other thing. Both of them draw aggro, which is off me, which helps me survive more. And then adding 2 skill tiers, so I'm able, with Technician Tree combined with a skill tier pistol, then I'm able to put 2 armor cores on me, so I can survive and be on the field more. Combined also with my healing through the damage and the overheal it also provides through the armor, which, yes, I really do like that 80% bonus armor it also gives, which gives more reason to get that second armor core, because that obviously... the more armor I have, the more that helps me too, since it's percentage. So I like this kind of combo with this build. You know, slapping on some armor, but still keeping that 6 skill tier for my turret and drone to be maxed out. And then having just the ultimate frenzy LMG to switch to, momentarily taking 1 skill tier off, but it's 100% worth it when I find those opportunities like you see, to just switch with a few second reload and then unload that entire clip so quick. Frenzy on the GR9 LMG specifically is like one of the best DPS things you can add on it, because it's based on the magazine size. So with 200 rounds, now you may be wondering why I don't put the other one on. I don't really think it's worth it particularly. I could slap the 35 round mag on, and also that would increase the rate of fire even more, it's true, but not enough rate of fire bonus for me to not have a longer mag, because the thing is, it only activates once you unload the whole thing from empty. So the more shots you have to fire without the frenzy buff, the longer it takes to get back to the frenzy buff, which is why you see me, even when I kill dudes, I'm just trying to, I'm unloading the clip regardless, because I want to make sure I switch weapons at that point, to ensure it's when I switch back over to the GR9, I just reload it again to always have a frenzy activated that way. A very good way of using frenzy in my view. The downside is it's still, you know, you can't always predict well, and sometimes, especially with a round that big, sometimes you'll just be stuck and you have to just keep shooting endlessly, or if I'm taking damage suddenly, then I just have to take the frenzy off, and then I lose the frenzy, and then I just have to shoot the gun regularly later. I still think it's worth it just to do that. And then having my exotic weapon being Sweet Dream Shotgun, just like my tank build, I still think is best on this guy, because the pistol's the primary now to keep a skill tier with the in-sync buff, which wasn't in this video, so once I get it, that'll be even more skill damage and healing through it. So that'll be good. But also, I feel like I should have used the Sweet Dreams in certain situations, because it would be just, again, it would take 1 skill tier away momentarily, but I would only be switching to the Sweet Dreams for just a few seconds to switch it out, melee some purple probably dude, to instant kill him, and then switch back to my pistol again to get the skill tier back and just keep shooting enemies to keep getting the in-sync buff that way. I think it's a very good weapon combination. It's like mostly using pistol because I'm not relying on weapon damage most of the time. But then I can suddenly get a huge weapon damage boost through a frenzied GR9. And then also one tap non-elite enemies sometimes too if I find opportunities through the Sweet Dream shotgun. So yeah, I actually think it's a pretty nice setup actually for those 3 different guns. And again, the armor I'm using. And of course my high-end gloves gives me even more skill haste. So, because yeah, even though it's skill damage based, I find haste is more important because you rely on your skills so much. That's the point. So you want to make sure you always have your skills out as much as you can. Also because they help your team so much. So I use the skill damage as just extra bonuses when I can't use skill haste that way. And yeah, once I'm missing 2 other skill haste buffs. Plus my SHD caliber currently hasn't been, I haven't maxed skill haste. I get an extra 10% skill haste through my SHD yet either. So that's 3 skill haste buffs I'm missing, plus I need to optimize and max all of those attributes out on my armor. When you do all that, that's what, like 40, maybe even close to 50% skill haste extra I'm missing. And I have like 10-second cooldowns right now, so that'll bring me down to just a few seconds, and then it'll be really like, okay, even if I get hit with an EMP, as long as I can just go cover or whatever till it's ended, I can always very quickly bring my skills back out again, which help protect me by healing me and also taking aggro too. And they heal your team even more, so that's why I really like this build. It's a very good team build. The 2 taking aggro off teammates too with your 2 skills, as well as healing them even more than yourself too. Like that's just real. I think it's a really good build for skill tiers.